And here we are live on YouTube. That's it. Great. Nice, nice, nice. So we all already know how TNT works and everything, right? So I want you guys to introduce yourselves, but I also want you to tell me, how was school for you? In which school did you study? How was school for you? Since we're talking about education, all right? So for you, Carmen, could you please introduce yourself and tell us, how was school for you?
Yes, my name is Carmen. I am 66 years old. I am from Fortaleza, Ceará, but I live out countryside next to Fortaleza, Maranguape, because I am retired. I am widow. I live alone. I have 3 kids, but they are married. I have a pet. I I like spend my time studying English now. And I am here to immersion because I want a lot to improve my speak. Because it's very difficult for me listen and speak. Okay, thank you for listening to me.
Awesome, that's just great. What
help
about
me,
you?
Júnior, help me.
Oh, that's why we're here.
Eu tenho que começar a ir para as imersões, né?
It's important.
I need participate more in immersion because I watch a lot this class now.
Yeah, the classes are important because we need to learn some things, and we do practice in class too, but that's where we get the real practice going, so.
Okay.
Oh. All right, Mr. Charles.
Firstly, I would like to say, Carmen, you are an inspiration for me. Yes, right? Thank you for giving us your time. And my name is Charles Lopes, 42 years old, married, 2 daughters. I was born in Brasília, capital of Brazil, but nowadays I live in one gorgeous and stunning region called the Amazon forest. I live exactly in one city called Santarém, Pará. That's it. My profession is agriculture engineer, and nowadays I work as a satellite measures analyst in the environmental area. About how was the school for me, that's it?
Yeah, how was school for you? How was the time you spent in school?
Oh, was great. Was for me a big challenge because I think school means in my life my greatest I don't know how I can say this worth, riqueza, I guess.
Oh, you can say like it's my greatest treasure or something like that.
Treasure.
Yeah, treasure. I think about, but I try to find one word. That's it. Yes.
Awesome. That is great. And what about you, Vinicius? How was school for you? But first, who are you?
Of course. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Vinicius. I'm from Avaré. It's a small city in São Paulo state, but I'm living in Curitiba right now. I work as a software engineer, but I'm happy. Um, I'm married, no kids, no pets, unfortunately, because I live in a small apartment, so no pets for me. But it's okay. The school was great. I think I was not the exact a good student. You know, I didn't enjoy that time because a lot of things. But school, mm, if I could go back to the past, of course, I to joy more in the school. You know, like the time was very precious, and I didn't um, enjoy that time. I guess that's it.
Awesome. That is just great. Um, I understand you. I wasn't the better student as well.
Yes, yes, I was a teenager. You know, like I just think about to be older, and nowadays I'm older and I just think, oh, okay, I'm still stupid. You know, like that.
I want to go back to being a child so much.
Yes.
But it's just life. But I do understand you. So, like, my name is Junior. I'm an English teacher. I'm 20 years old. I've been teaching English for 3 years. And a funny thing is that when people think about teachers, we usually think about people that really liked the school, that liked school so much that they decided to stay in school for the rest of their lives. That's not true. Actually, a big part of the teachers I know were awful in school, for real. I I didn't have bad grades. I was Tests for me were really easy. So that was my problem because school was so easy for me that become boring. It became boring. So I just started skipping classes, talking the whole class, reading books and listening to music instead of studying in class. I would always be late. Like I would never get in school for the first class, always for the second class. And then I would have breakfast in class because I woke up late, but it was pretty fun, especially because of that. I made many friends. I would talk a lot to people, so for me, it was fun to be in school. It was a really great time where I made very good friends that I'm gonna take for the rest of my life. But I wasn't the best student either. I I can relate.
I guess maybe it's because the way the schools works, you know, you don't like the school environment. You like share your knowledge, you know, but not how school works. I think that was my problem, you know, like you need to study with everybody, and almost of times that's don't the school don't see a person, they just see, you know, a mess, something like that, and you just don't learn how it's better for you. You know, I think the school environment, it's too much old nowadays. You know, I think it did change. I didn't see the quest like that, but if I would say, I think the environment school, it's need to evolve, you know, to something else. Then, you know, like a lot of people in a class just to listen one person, something like that. I think that's the problem nowadays.
I completely agree. I think so too. What do you guys think about what Vinicius said? That school is outdated, that we need to evolve the learning, the teaching strategy in schools. What do you guys think?
Carmen, late first or not?
You, Charlie.
All right, all right, all right.
I got it as well, the question.
All right, all right. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk first. Yes, I agree with Vinicius. And I think I have the same problem with you, June. My hand, it's too fast, and in my hand have a storm of ideas, storm of dreams, storm of goals, and it's difficult for me pay attention in some classes because the class in the past, I will talk in the past because I don't used to go to the class a long time ago, physical class, obviously. But I feel this when I was in the college. Sometimes some classes become boring because the teacher don't elaborate or don't bring for the students different way to show the subject. Nowadays, I think this become better a little with the advent of the YouTube, cell phone, and other things. I think the class become a little more interesting, but I agree with Vinicius, and I think we can improve the class for become more attractive. Yes, that's it for me, I guess. I will face the one course after September. I will back to school, and I will can tell you before the September how the things work in Canada, because I will study there. 1 year, one course. That's it.
That's such a cool thing. Congrats.
Congrats. June, repeat the question slowly for me. You.
Oh, sure.
You speak very fast for me.
That's the challenge. Okay. No, it's because Vinicius and Charles too said that school is very outdated. It's very old. The methodology, the teaching techniques, this strategy of putting 40 students in a room with only the teacher speaking for 5 hours. It's not really that cool. It's not really that interesting. And it doesn't work anymore. What do you think about that, Carmen?
Não sei se eu entendi. For me, what this class is very pleasure. I feel pleasure because I always study in person, online, mais ainda, não sei direito, how do you say, mais ainda, né? Então, for me, study is important. I don't know. But, for example.
But the methodology we have in schools nowadays, the way people teach in schools today, do you think it's good or do you think it's bad and needs to improve?
I think the internet facilitates the education because, for example, I study in person a long time because I am retired. Now I study English. I think the metodologia,
Methodology.
Poderia ser melhor.
Okay, awesome.
Por
Could be
exemplo,
better.
the people in Brazil, few people study speak English, I think tá faltando aí alguma coisa, para ajudar as pessoas. Sorry, viu? Eu não entendi bem.
No, it's okay. We understand that. Yeah, makes sense. A lot of people in Brazil study. Everyone studies English in school. Why does nobody speak in English?
Mas não fala. 5% é que fala no Brasil?
I don't even know. People say 5% of Brazilian people speak English fluently, but that's a very old data. People have been saying that 5% of Brazilians speak in English since I was a baby. The first time I heard this, I was a baby. So I think that's old data. I think more people do speak in English, but it's still a very small percentage. All right. Great. Now the questions we made here to share with you guys, I'm gonna send them in the chat right here. Oops, not that. I'm gonna have to copy them like this. To 10, here we go, chat. Okay, now the rest of them. So the idea of this conversation is there are many questions. We're not going to work with all of them, and they're kind of vague and open. So as the conversation goes, I'm going to adapt some of the questions, okay? Right. So here, right now. Are you guys studying? Are you guys students? Are you guys studying anything currently? Vinicius, are you?
Let me start.
Sure.
It's a silence in the room. Let me break this silence.
Sure.
For me, I never stop to study. I study every day. At first, I don't need one course. I don't need one class for study. I consider that right now I study more language because it's my mainly goal in this moment, because I need improve quickly my English, because my other goal is studying Canada. But in the other subject too, I study all the time, and I don't stop, because times to times I start to study new things. Like I said in the previous answer, my mind, my head, it's a storm, a perfect storm, because all the time I need to start learn something new. I think that's it. Can I choose someone or no?
Sure. Sure. So,
Carmen,
guys, I'm sorry for the yawning, but it's because I just had lunch. So right now,
right. And
a
you,
little
Carmen,
É,
are you a student?
like you now, I am studying English. I student of English. I student of language. Né? I study English because it is important for my brain. How do you say prevenir?
to prevent.
Prevent Alzheimer. But I like study new articles. I like to read.
Awesome. That's really great.
Yes, I study a lot. I am working, but now I am retired. Né?
Oh, great. And what about you, Vinicius? Are you a student?
Yes, I'm like Charles said, I'm always study as well. I like study. I think learn new things it's good for mind, for our body, you know. I'm studying English, of course, Spanish and German as well. But and I'm studying in postgraduate as well, to develop mobile. It's
Nice.
okay. I do that in my work already, but I like studying, so I'm doing this, and I want to do a master degree next year in vision computation. You know, I I don't know. I think study all the time. It's important to to understand how the world is changing. You know, like you always need to study to to see how the work will become in some years, I guess.
All right. But then let me make a different question, Vinicius. Are you a learner?
Yes, I like learn every a lot of things, you know, like to develop them. Of course, I work with this, but I like learning languages. I like learn how cook. I was the worst cook ever, but I'm still trying learn. So I'm trying. Sometimes I know my wife is not say the truth for me because my food is not so good, but she always say, "Oh, it's great," you know. But I
It's
know it's
wonderful.
yes, but I know it's not the truth. But you know, she's my wife, so she needs sometimes lie to me to for my happy. But
Yeah,
I think I'm a learning person, you know, like I always try learn something else, different things.
that is awesome. What about you, Carmen? Are you a learner?
Yes, I am very curiosa, né? Curious.
Mhm.
I like a lot to read the articles, watch the videos about new things.
All right. And you, Charles, are you a learner?
Yes, man. Yes, yes. Too much. Insaciável. I don't know why I can say this in English. How about
Nice.
you?
I am. I am much more of a learner than a student, actually. We don't make this distinction. We don't make this difference too much or enough, but there is a difference between being a student and a learner. I hate student. I hate studying. Not, I'm going to be honest with you guys. If I want to learn Japanese, I want to learn French, I want to learn Italian, I want to learn Spanish, I want to learn programming too, but I hate studying. And if it's for work, if it's for education, for anything, I don't like studying, but I love learning. I love learning new information, discovering new things. You know, one thing that I discovered the other day, I don't know, do you guys follow us on Instagram? Do you guys follow Talk and Talk on Instagram?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. One thing that I discovered. Oh, just a second. Okay. I discovered watching a reel. Watching reels, and then I discovered that. By the way, I was watching reels during work, so sorry for that, Phil. But you know when you have to balance something and the thing just doesn't balance?
Yeah.
One trick there is a way for you to discover the point of balance of any object. You just put your two hands like this, one in each point, and then you just move them towards the center. And your hand goes to the balance point.
Wow.
For me, it was so cool. I love learning this kind of stuff. I love physics. If I had to read a book to discover that, I would never have discovered that, you know? So I am much more of a learner than a student. I love learning new stuff. What are you guys more? Are you more learners or more students?
I can start. Carmen, if you want, please.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm both. I like theories about of things, like I like see the information in the books because I don't like fake news, so I love see the information in the books. But as you said, I hate as well, like see a lot of pages in a book. So I think nowadays I try see how the theory works in a book, but I see it on YouTube or something like that, how works in the how the things really works, and I see a lot of I don't know how I can say, but a lot of uh, coisas aleatórias. I don't know how to say exactly that. Like Mega Curioso. It's a website. There is a lot of aleatórias, coisas aleatórias.
Random things.
Random things. Thanks. I see a lot of random things. So sometimes my wife will wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. and I'm still in my notebook seeing that stuff. So my wife will always say, "Oh, great, great." And the next day, of course, I wake up dead, like, oh, I'm still asleep. But I love to see these things, random things. I think it's great for your mind to understand useless things as well, But I like it. How about you, Carmen? You like read the things in a book, or you prefer see on YouTube or something like that?
I prefer in book. I like write. I like this paper. Writing this paper. I prefer, né?
Yeah, I see on a study it's better to remember the things when you write, like you are doing in the paper. It's easier to remember the things, when you write. I even know write my name nowadays, because I just use computer. So I just write my name when I need to pick up something that I bought before. But it's great. I would like to note more things than I try learn. But I don't know. My letter it's like a doctor letter. It's complicated.
I I understand you. I understand you. The other day, a person that I worked a while ago, they wanted me to do a service for them. Then I went to their shop, to their school, to take a look at what the job was and what I had to do. And then I asked for a paper to take notes, but my handwriting is so bad because I haven't written in a long while. Nowadays, I stay the entire day in my house just using the computer and the cell phone because I work from here. My handwriting is awful. It's just awful. And I was writing in front of them. I was like, guys, sorry for my handwriting, but I haven't written in a long time. What about you, Charles? Are you more of a learner or a student?
Oh man, I think it's for me this is a trick question, because for me the difference in the student than for learner, it's discipline, and I think I don't have too much discipline like you, I guess. If I got well like you, I don't have too much discipline. And I like a lot study, discover new things, but I become boring fast, right? So I need to new things all the time. And I feel this necessity to learn, to discover new things. And I think that's it. I feel more a learner than a student because I don't have too much discipline. I will give one example, like my process in studying English. I don't follow the conventional methodology. There you can start study verbs and grammar, and before or after you will try to speak. I invert the order, and I start study talk first, and I don't know, but one day maybe I will study grammar and other things. It's only one example, but that's it, I guess. I think this can clarify my way to do and to learn and to study. That's it, man.
It really does. And I can relate to that. For example, Spanish. I've been studying Spanish for around 6 to 8 months now. And I haven't taken a look at anything from grammar. Nothing. Haven't studied any verb, haven't studied any verb tenses, haven't studied any vocabulary. Just talking, just participating in conversations and immersions. I'm not speaking Spanish yet. I'm just speaking Portuguese Spanish. But it's been pretty nice, and I've learned a lot, doing this process. So that's like the point of talk and talk, that you don't actually need to study grammar if you don't want to. As long as you practice, you get to learn a lot, by having different talks, talking about a different topic every single day, many times a day if you want to. Great.
Yeah. One thing I think the how you were saying about the Spanish, and I think like Charles said, probably Charles don't have it the linear thinking thoughts, like he prefer use his own way to learn. It's better way because everyone is a different person. So I totally agree with it he said. And I think it's I was looking at Google right now, and we have 200, more than 200 people in Brazil, and 5% it's something like 10 million person speaking English. So I don't think so. It's probably less. And I think, I don't know if you agree, guys, but I think it's the most problem in Brazil because we care too much about how we say the things in English, like we want to be a native, like native is speaking. And I think a lot of people don't want or don't try study English because of that. We are talking about the study, and I think the TNT is the best place in this way because nobody cares how you say the words or how you try express yourself. Just try to talk with the persons. So TNT in this way, it's the best platform in Brazil, I guess. So do you agree? Do you think the most problem to learn a new language is about the fear to say something wrong sometimes? I don't know.
Ooh, great. Do you guys agree? Carmen, Charles?
Yes,
Totally.
totally.
All right. It's something I've been thinking a lot about lately. Like, people say, I want to talk like a native. Have you guys ever talked to a native English speaker before?
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Was it easy? Was it difficult? Did you understand?
Oh, I already had a conversation with native guys through the platforms like Cambly, like iTalk. I don't think it's valid because the guy in the other side of the line, it's prepared for receive a student. But I already had conversation with some employer, things like an interview, not exactly one interview, but for me it's okay. It's okay. It's not. I don't have any problem. It's okay, and it's a funny point there. I feel the native guy more patience than Brazilian guy. Yes. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, they usually are, because a lot of people don't understand that when you're speaking a second language, it's something incredible. For us Brazilians, we are the only people in the entire world that cares too much about how you're speaking or pronunciation, if you're talking like a native or not. You know why we have so much trouble understanding Indian people speaking in English or Japanese people speaking in English? They don't care. They keep their accent. And they talk like they usually do in their language, and they don't care if there's pronounced incorrectly or not. They do know the pronunciation of the words. For example, they're not going to say, oh, bread. They're going to say bread, but they're going to say that in their accent, and they have no problem with that. The Brazilians are the only ones that want to change their accent. And I think it's funny, this idea of like, I want to talk like a native person. The natives, they make mistakes all the time. We make mistakes in our native language. That's Portuguese. We don't speak Portuguese, right? So we want to talk like a native. Okay. It's not going to be perfect either. That's really fun. Great. Now, I'm a little curious. We have people from different areas in here. Which classes do you like the most? Which subjects do you like the most? Sociology, grammar, Portuguese, English, Spanish, chemistry, physics, math. Carmen, which classes do you like the most? Which subjects do you like the most?
When I study the college nurse, in the first year, I study cálculo 1, cálculo 2, I don't know, but I like mathematics, I like, because exactly, I don't like ciências humanas, humans, because decorate, I don't know.
I completely understand. What about you, Charles? Which are your favorite classes, your favorite subjects?
Oh man, it's difficult, Junior. It's too difficult because I like too much things. I was born and I raised in the farm, and I like this area. I'm an agriculture technician, 1998, and agriculture engineer, 2006. So a double degree in agriculture and half a master in agriculture. So I like too much this.
He froze.
Yeah.
All right, let's just give him a second.
Design.
He's back.
But I studied aviation for several, a little different than my area, right?
Charles.
I told you about agriculture, a lot of things for.
Can I ask you to please repeat, because you started talking, then you froze.
All right. No.
You said that you have a double degree, right? In agriculture.
In agriculture. I worked my entire life in the agriculture, but I love aviation, and I will choose aviation. Was my best subject because it's different than I do my entire life. I like mechanic. I like aviation. I like. Yes, it's my personal passion, aviation. Yes, that's it. I studied aviation for some years too, but not as a profession, like a hobby. That's it.
Right. Have you ever flown a plane?
Yes. I already had the opportunity to fly, to be in command in one airplane.
That's awesome. I would be so scared. You're brave, because I would be so scared. Geez.
You need to be prepared. You need to study for this, and I think I'm scared the see someone hurt and calm face this problem your entire life, and I think it's normal. It's correct, Carmen?
Yes.
Great. Nice. And one day you're gonna fly everyone from team two. You're gonna go from state to state, picking up everyone. We're gonna have a meetup, a national meetup. Awesome. Now, what about you, Vinicius? Which were your favorite subjects, your favorite classes?
I totally agree with Carmen said before. Math, of course, numbers, it's always correctly. It's easier, like Portuguese, it's so hard because there's a lot of rules and you need to memorize everything. So I think Portuguese, it's too much harder for me. And I really love numbers, math, physical, and chemistry as well. Everything with number it's easy, but when you need to memorize anything, I'm the worst person ever. Like I even remember what I have lunch some minutes ago, so my memory it's not great. And I guess that's it. Math for me, it's the best thing.
So I'm gonna have to go with you, Carmen and Vinicius. Anything that's logic to me, I love, especially math and physics. I have a big problem with chemistry. Chemistry for me is a big problem because there is a lot of logic to chemistry. For example, the connections of the elements of everything. But then if you connect a hydrogen with, I don't know, with sodium, it's not going to become hydrogen and sodium. Something is going to happen, and that thing is going to become gold or something like that. I don't know. So there's a lot of logic to chemistry, but there's also some random stuff that I don't understand. So no chemistry for me, but I do love math and physics. That's two subjects that I really loved in school, and music too. When I was younger, in one school that I studied, we had music, and for me, it was like the funniest thing ever. I would wait for the entire week just to have music classes. What about you, Charles? What was the class you liked the least, you didn't like in school?
Portuguese, like Portuguese. Portuguese is the worst. Until today, I'm not good in Portuguese, and I used to joke to make a joke with this a guy that don't know Portuguese want to learn English. It's me. But it's okay. I do my best, but I really don't like.
Yeah, that is great. Actually, the problem with your joke is that English is easier.
I think so. I think so. For me, it's more easy than Portuguese.
Yes.
What about you, Carmen? Which were the classes you didn't like, you hated in school?
Like Charles Português because it's several whole rules, né?
Mm-hmm.
English is easier, né? Because it's technical language, língua técnica, phrases, estruturas, né? For me, English is easier than Portuguese.
Awesome. And what about you, Vinicius? What was the class, the subject you didn't like?
Oh, of course, Portuguese. It's hard. I think Portuguese is the one of the most complicated language to learn. I've been never see nobody that's not a Brazilian guy speaking Portuguese well, like without accent or something like that, and always we try speaking English without accent, but they when everyone is learning Portuguese, they don't care. I see a lot of times in here in Curitiba, there's a lot of people in these different places in all the world, and we always see different accents trying speak Portuguese, and they don't really care how they are saying, um, to, for example, verbs, you know, for a lot of people, it's eu paro, ele paro, nós paro. They don't care how to say correctly the verb eu paro, ele para,
Uh-huh.
like they just
Exactly.
why they just think, oh, you understand what I'm trying to say. Yes, so that's the point, you know.
Yes, exactly. But that's a real fun one, eu paro. Eu parou.
They don't care because in English I stop. Of course, they have it, tipo, or he and she stops, but it's a really small thing to say, but it's normally the same thing for everything. Portuguese is too much hard, and Spanish as well. Spanish is more complicated than Portuguese when you're studying verbs or something like that. It's more harder.
Um, awesome. I understand you guys when you talk about Portuguese being difficult. Portuguese is quite complicated. I did enjoy, I liked Portuguese classes, but depending on the teacher, I think sometimes our relationship to a certain the subject also depends on the teacher, right? I remember that I had some great Portuguese teachers that made me love the language and really want to do exercises and everything. And I had some Portugueses that made me just explode the school when they started teaching Portuguese classes because it was so boring.
Yeah, like proparoxítona, oxytona, or something like that. I still didn't know how use the first porquê. I just know one, and I always use it there, and I don't care about how I write correctly the word porquê. I
Junior,
know there's four ways to write.
let me let me ask, or allow me ask for Vinicius, how you handle with this too much language? You learn and you study this language at the same time. Because sometimes I speak in Portuguese and I use some words in English, like I need to overcome this. How you handle with too much language?
Oh, I
How
it's
don't you feel confused?
oh, of course, I sometimes I use some wrong words, but I think all studies has cycles, and when you're just down someone, you just change for another one, and you always think you are learning new things, because if you're try just learn English, sometimes you will think you're learning anything else, you know, because you are studying the same thing every day, you are seeing the same thing every day, and you think you are learning nothing else more. So I change for the language, to be more happy all the time, you know, like I always learning. If I'm think I'm not learning in Spanish, I change to English. And if I think I'm not evolving like I want in English, I change to German, you know. I think it's the good way to you always learning something, you know. If you are study only one thing, only English or only Spanish, you in your case you think you're born too fast, you know. So it's a way to try to balance the things to learn better. I don't know if you understand me. Yeah, great, great.
That is awesome, you guys. So why 1 hour goes by so fast, right?
Yes, 1 hour. I think it's too fast. I think it's. But Friday we have a new class, of course.
Yeah, Friday we're back, baby. By the way, next week I'm going to have meetings on Monday too. So now every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1 p.m. you can have immersions with me.
Oh, great.
Yes, I think it's an interesting hour for participate the meeting. I don't have opportunity to participate all the meeting this time because I have other compromisos. But I really appreciate when I can. Thank you, man.
It's great. Yeah, it's nice. It's a time that not a lot of people have this time available, especially people like that sometimes are busy at work. They only have from noon to 1. But sometimes people have lunch later, or some people that work in different shifts. But I'm here for you guys whenever you need. It's nice to know that you enjoy. And I was gonna say something I forgot. I think I'm getting old. I'm forgetting stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Here, guys. Here's the link for you guys to leave the feedback if you can. It really helps us a lot. If you don't follow us on Instagram yet, please do. All right. And thank you guys a lot for coming. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Charles, Vinícius, Junior, for
Thank you, Carmen.
your opinion is very important for me. Help me a lot. But
Nice to have you guys.
Like I said before, you are a motivation for us.
thank you.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Thank you guys. Bye.
I would like I would like to see more person like you here.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's important.
I wait for
Bye. Bye for now.